Late night, this couple suddenly came to visit. The woman slowly bent down, touched the old man's toes, just entered the door. In India, this is the highest etiquette for the elderly, but the old man is not only ungrateful, his face suddenly darkened. Because men come to collect debts, the old man will pay the interest for this month immediately, but it's still 2,000 yuan missing. On the surface, men don't have any difficulties, old man, just leading the woman into the room. 1 minute later, the two of them came out with their clothes disheveled. Looking at the messy room, the couple immediately understood. This is a warning. It's also a form of shame. Lao Wang is a retired teacher, originally living an ordinary middle-class life, but in order to send my son to the United States for further education, almost spent all the family's. Not only did I mortgage my house to the bank, I also borrowed a lot of usury, although my son lives and works in peace and contentment in the United States. But he is a truly filial son. Leave his elderly parents to repay his huge debts domestically, in front of usury, often subjected to various inhuman humiliations, beatings, and insults, which is even more common. But Lao Wang was not defeated by a difficult fate. As a retired teacher, I will do my best to help those nearby children who cannot afford to go to school. However, this day, Brother Dao once again came to the door to persuade Lao Wang to sell his house and repay the money. This way, we can solve the debt once and for all. But at this moment, Brother Dao is attracted by the little girl who is tutoring at home. He called the little girl up to him, after learning the girl's name, and for no apparent reason, I stuffed him with a banknote. Lao Wang realized in an instant that something was wrong. He originally wanted to seek help from the police. I didn't expect Brother Dao to be in the sheriff's office as well. Trouble rate. Mom. Look at Brother Dao's unbridled appearance in front of the sheriff. Lao Wang has guessed that they have colluded to report together. It's no use at all. It will only cause him trouble. Night. Brother Dao come to your door again, without a word. Just slapped Lao Wang in the face. Brother Dao used the house as a threat. Asked Lao Wang to call over the little girl, who was tutoring here during the day. Would deduct 150,000 rupees of interest from him. Looking at this demonic knife brother in front of me, Lao Wang couldn't bear it anymore. Pick up the screwdriver on the side. Stabbed Brother Dao in the throat. The old man spread all the newspapers at home on the ground. Pick up the axe and you're about to dismember the body. But in order not to make the noise bigger, he replaced the axe with a handkerchief. Roll up from the legs. Listen to the sound of my husband dismembering in the living room. My wife, who usually fasts and recites Buddhism, is scared and her mouth is wide open. Scared to the point of being unable to breathe. The old man packed the bodies into different bags in batches. Take the bag and come to an abandoned building. Immediately after, he stole some gasoline from someone else's motorcycle, and then returned to the dump site. Burn the body on fire, and the bones and debris left by the burning were carefully dug out by the old man. Unified packaging to take away. Wait for the first light of the day. He came to the flower shop, taking away on the grounds of changing money. The boss took the opportunity to break the bones. Pour the head into the dough mixer. Grind him thoroughly into powder. To complete a perfect crime, we need to destroy all the evidence. He thought this was a way to hide things from the world. But I didn't expect the police to find the old man, because Lao Wang has frequent contact with Brother Dao on weekdays, and facing questioning from the police. Lao Wang didn't panic at all, always insisting on not knowing anything. But unfortunately, the whiff's behavior has aroused the suspicion of the sheriff. During this period of time, my wife wakes up from nightmares every night, and also became silent, stopped talking to Lao Wang, plus the deceased's wife also came to visit him. This makes the wife feel even more guilty. The other party knows that her husband's involvement in the gang is not a good thing, but no matter what, he is also the father of the child. So seek out Lao Wang, if you know. Be sure to tell him where his husband has gone. But even so, Lao Wang still hasn't let go. After sending someone away, my wife can't hold her tension anymore, because my wife doesn't know the whole picture. Let the distance between the two gradually widen. After some thought, Lao Wang has decided to surrender to the police station. The police didn't believe it after listening. Someone even drove him away. Unsuccessful surrender. Lao Wang can only confess everything to his wife first. Without the whiff's knowledge, he repeated what Brother Dao said that night. Ah. Lido. This is for you to compare. There are any considerations, do those things or not? Which two ethnic groups are independent? Do you know that? So why isn't this one? Seeing my wife is very angry, Lao Wang continued. Abima's technology, inside them, they need to exercise. At this moment, the wife finally understood her husband's difficulties. After the sheriff learned that Lao Wang came from the capital, immediately ordered the summoning of old Wang. Unexpectedly, Lao Wang changed his mind. I didn't say anything. In the absence of any evidence, the sheriff can only let Lao Wang go first. However, the clean days haven't been long. Lao Wang was once again targeted by debt collectors. That's when he found out he killed him. It's just a little brother. The boss expressed that, within 3 days, if Lao Wang cannot repay all his debts, so we can only use the house as collateral. Under all kinds of helplessness, Lao Wang can only seek help from his son, who is far away in the United States. I didn't expect it. This filial son refused their request for help directly. The police found you leads in the murder case. On the night of throwing the body, Lao Wang went to the bank self-service machine to withdraw money, and behind him, all the jute bag cameras captured it clearly. Although this is not enough, what does it prove? But according to India's simple law enforcement methods, it's enough to turn people into tricks. Strangely enough, the police did not order the arrest of the old man. Instead, it was a private meeting with him alone. His words and behavior are very polite. But there's one thing. Lao Wang couldn't figure it out. The sheriff always keeps asking questions. Where's my brother's phone hidden? Lao Wang realized that there may be a turning point in the matter, and this turning point is what the sheriff has been mentioning all along. This phone. After returning home, I started searching around. Finally, I found the phone left by Brother Dao in the crack of the sofa. Lao Wang took his dead phone and bought a charger nearby. As soon as I turned it on, I saw some unknown important things. Lao Wang goes home. But I ran into the black boss coming to put pressure on me, and smashed everything at home. Lao Wang impulsively smashed the black boss car. The consequences can be imagined. The old couple were humiliated in public humiliation. Neighbors can only silently watch, dare not speak a word. After Lao Wang was sent to the hospital, he finally confessed everything to the sheriff, and unconditionally gave the phone to the other party. Original. The sheriff is serving as the protective umbrella for Brother Dao. There's a handle in someone else's hands, because Brother Dao filmed his dating video. His date is the wife of a senior local official. After the sheriff received the phone, according to the clues provided by Lao Wang's wife, the sheriff found Lao Wang's murder weapon, and even framed the black boss. Successfully cleared Lao Wang of suspicion. After that, Lao Wang appears at the police station, looking at the black boss in the iron window. Lao Wang admits that he is the real murderer. Before leaving, Lao Wang and the sheriff looked at each other and smiled. At this moment, they all achieved the desired results.